I wonder, either it's all true or it's all a lie or some of it is true and some of it's fairy tale. What say you, Jordan Rose, attorney right there in Phoenix, Arizona?
I say this is a different Jodi Arias than we've ever seen. She's been a chatty Cathy. She can't stop talking about the details of her life, minuscule things she can remember. And here today, she goes dark. She's a vacuum. She's empty. She has no idea what happened that day. She remembers a color of a rope, and then the defense attorney puts up a rope, and it's a different color. I mean, she has absolutely, these lies are going to come and bite her. As Celine mentioned, the jury's taking copious notes, and the prosecution is just going to shove this right down her throat when they get up there to cross-examine her, which is why they are not objecting.
Janie.
I have to tell you that the defense is between a rock and a hard place. And you have to remember that the defense is putting up what they feel is necessary as a foundation for the experts that they have that will be able to testify. And it's balanced against keeping the jury interested and, unfortunately, through these graphic and yet it's sometimes boring details. It's a balance. They must do this to get the experts.
Honey, it's not boring. You can call it whatever you want. I'll testify. Put a polygraph on me. It's anything but boring. We're hearing about some of the raunchiest sex. I mean, a friend of mine came back from a trip, turned on my show and said, "Where's the porno music?" Okay, this is graphic stuff. It ain't boring. I'll disagree with you on that one. Gloria Allred. Here's the thing. I think people get invested in stories, just like they get invested in relationships. I think it all boils down to whether jurors have decided to invest subconsciously and emotionally in her story, or they've decided to reject her and what she represents. Your thoughts, Gloria?
Yes, Jane, I think, the good news for Jodi Arias is that she's taken the witness stand because the jury always likes to hear from the defendant, usually doesn't get a chance in a case where they're charged with murder. The bad news for Jodi Arias is that she took the witness stand because now she's going to be called to account for each and every answer that she gives. And if the jury thinks that she's lying about some or even lying about not being able to recollect what happened on that fateful and tragic day, they're really going to be angry at her, and especially because they had to be put through so much of the sex, and as much as some of them might like to hear about it, the fact that the decedent is the one that engaged in it could really make them very angry at her.
Dave Hall, you are Travis Alexander's dear friend. He's not here to speak for himself. Soap operas always end with cliffhangers so that people come back the next day. This is highly orchestrated. They end right before the two of them go into the bathroom, which is where the killing occurs. Do you think this is sort of orchestrated plastic testimony that is contrived to elicit a specific reaction on the part of jurors?
Well, I definitely feel that a lot of it is contrived. And Jodi's going to have a hard time explaining the facts when Juan Martinez gets a hold of her. I mean, her testimony today about the knife, first of all, the rope never did appear that she talks about being tied up with. But then when asked where did Travis put the knife, she said either on the nightstand or down in the bathroom. Well, the bathroom's about 30 feet away from where the bed is. And conveniently, it may end up there when he lunges at her. It was just right there. But, I mean, who is in their right mind tying up their girlfriend for a sexual liaison and then walks 30 feet down the hallway to place a knife and come back? It just doesn't make sense.